Hello, welcome back to Notch EV. I'm standing here with a 2023 Chevy Bolt EUV. It's my friend's car that he just got. It's his second Bolt. He also owns an EV, the smaller version. And I just wanted to give a quick review while I'm here in Maine and let you know my opinions kind of as an EV driver of a Model Y, and let you know if I think this car could be right for you and maybe squash some of your fears that you might have about this car and what you've heard about it. So this is a silver Bolt EUV. It is the bigger of the Bolts. It's 2023. This is a car he bought used. I'm kind of checking it out, seeing what I think about it. It is a 65 kilowatt hour battery. It has about 247 miles of range. The 0 to 60 time is 7 seconds. So those are all pretty good stats. It's not the fastest electric car, but at that acceleration, it still is faster than, I think, probably almost every car you could buy that's an ICE car in this price range. These things are so affordable. If you want to pick one up used, it could be somebody's first car, somebody's first EV to learn how everything works. Or it could be your second car for around town. At this price point, it could kind of be a beater for you if you have another car that's fancier that you want to keep clean. I mean, this fits into so many different buckets depending on who you are and how you want to use it. A little backstory. My friend that owns this is his second Bolt. This is the EUV, and he also has the EV. So they've been happy with the Bolt in general enough where they were willing to have a 2-Bolt family. The way their life is they have actually a pretty long commute up here in Maine. I think that they drive around 80 miles per day, which, I mean, is substantial for way above the national average. And I think that a lot of people might be afraid to, especially in a cold climate in the Northeast, to get involved with something like a Bolt that doesn't even have a heat pump. But it has proven to be completely reliable for them. And their lifestyle, they don't really need to fast charge. They drive a ton, but they don't need to fast charge. And that's kind of the key to the Bolt. We have a charge port up here on the front driver's side. It is a CCS port. Since these old ones, I'm assuming the Bolt refresh that I heard about, I don't actually know anything about it yet, but I'm assuming those will probably end up with the NACS port. But for now, if you're buying used, you have CCS, you can get yourself an adapter and you can charge at superchargers. Let's pop the trunk here. Let's see how I do this. Oh, it's down here. Yeah, this is kind of interesting. I'm very much expecting to go here, but you come down here to pop it. Storage space in the EUV. Honestly, it probably doesn't look like much, but I was looking in his EV, which is the smaller version of this, and when you get rid of the subfloor here, you actually have a pretty big area. I mean, definitely enough for a couple bags if you were going on a trip. This is what a key fob looks like. Unlock. So you are getting a traditional type of car setup with keys like that, unlike a Tesla where you have just a, like a credit card. He's got a booster seat in here. And actually, I'm seeing right here, this is kind of cool. I didn't notice this when I first sat in. You have a pass-through down here with a little cubby. Fabric seats in here. Let's drop this. Oops, I messed up his car seat. Don't tell him. He might watch this. Yeah, you're not car camping in this, but with these seats dropped down, you are going to have actually a pretty decent amount of cargo space if you need to haul some things. You know, maybe you need to haul a TV. You can get a TV box in there, I'm sure. But the car itself is kind of utilitarian, but it does the job, I think. I think it does the job good. All these Bolts are front wheel drive, single motor, 200 horsepower. And I don't know what tires he has on here. These are the ones that came with it as the used one. But on their other Bolt, they have Cross Climate 2 tires, and they did perfectly fine with a front wheel drive EV in Maine with Cross Climate 2 tires in the winter, which I think is, you know, that's a pretty good testament to the Bolt and the tire package that Michelin has with the Cross Climates, that you can make it work, because Maine is not known for mild winters. Much like a lot of people say with the piano black, you know, it gets kind of scratched up. So I can agree with a lot of people that I'm not a big fan of that. You got some space in here. You know, this is narrow, but you're going to be able to store some stuff in here. Cup holders. I mean, this kind of shows you how narrow this car is, because I think most cars, the cup holders are this way. At least in my car they are, which means you have that much more space between the seats. So this is a narrow car, but it still feels decently roomy in here. You've got your 4 window controls, lock and mirror controls, change your mirrors. You have physical vents. All of this is very traditional. It's an EV, but it's pretty traditional. Back seat, as you see, fine. You can fit a kid, you could fit a car seat, no problem there. They used to have car seats in the smaller Bolt, but now they've grown out of the full car seats. So, point being, if you have 2 kids, this car can work. I'm going to put it in sport mode. Sport mode, okay. Oh yeah, I mean, that picks up nicely. The low slow acceleration, I feel a little bit of a click. It's not 100% smooth, but it feels pretty good. And I think the regen braking feels pretty good too. Let's see how it comes to a full stop. It stops. It's drifting a little bit down this hill. It's not perfect. It's pretty good though. It doesn't lock into place the way that I'm used to. Okay, blinker on. Let's push it. Okay. You can hear a little bit of a motor. Sounds decent though. It's not in your face. It's not too much. It's just sort of a normal electric motor whine. Regen braking kicks in well. This is going to be an excellent buy for getting around locally within the hour and a half away from your house and back. I think that this is, if you need a cheap to run EV and low maintenance, low charging cost, because it has a pretty small battery for how far it's going. Like 247 range on a 65 kilowatt hour battery is good. This thing has a good efficiency. I think it's often above 3 miles per kilowatt. I'll look to see if I can see his consumption, his average consumption that he's had. I'm hitting some bumps. You hear a little bit of road noise. You feel it a little bit, but it's totally fine. Everything that you experience in this car, as long as you roll it back to the value proposition of how little you paid for it, it feels like an amazing car. Like, I can't complain. Obviously, you might want something more luxurious. You might this might not be what you're looking for. So you can pick on it all you want, saying it's a cheap car, blah blah blah, it charges bad. But as long as you buy it knowing why and what your purpose is, this car can be excellent. So just keeping that in mind. I think everybody should keep that in mind when looking at a car like this. Let me look for the consumption here. Yeah, oh, it's sitting right here. I couldn't tell when I was driving. 4.2 kilowatts per mile on the last 79 miles. It's going to cost you more than double to running an R1S. Like, obviously nobody's cross comparing these, but just for reference, this thing is going to be very cheap to run. The camera quality here is pretty nice on the backup camera. It's a nice big screen. Okay, back on the road, head back to the house. Okay, we got a line of cars. I'm gonna go after this next one, put some acceleration on. Okay, test the Bolt acceleration. Oh, it's peeled out a tire. That was funny. Okay, oh, you feel a little, it definitely, that did not handle as well as my Model Y does. I definitely felt the steering wheel sliding a bit. The front wheels kind of not keeping everything as tight as I pulled out of there. But it wasn't dangerous. It wasn't a big deal. But definitely not as sporty feeling. The seats are fine. They're not extra plush, but they're not uncomfortable. Fabric's fine, you know. You've got a few physical buttons. On, off, your temperature number, fan speed. You've got, what is this, click climate? Oh, so you can come into here if you click climate and choose your options here. Auto. Okay, let's hit the home button. So we've got audio. I think if you were the owner of this car, you have your phone automatically connected. So this all would work through Android Auto, or you have some of these services. Then we have phone. Also, that'd be if your phone was connected. Energy. So yeah, what do we say? We got our charge rate. That's nice. Slide this around as needed. Tells you how long charging would be completed at, XYZ with this charging speed, and that's kind of nice. Energy consumption. Okay, so battery. Well, I think I know this about Bolts, but I don't think they tell you percentage very specifically anywhere. I'm not seeing percentage here. Since last charge. Impact. History. Yeah, so if you want to know what percentage battery you're at, I think that's not a strong point with this car. If I come over here, I can see my mileage, my remaining mileage, and you can look at the ticks right here. So we can tell we're just over 50. We're around like 55% battery. So you kind of just need to, I think, estimate your state of charge. So I would say kind of my final thoughts for this car as I am getting back to the house is it's not a sports car, but it's got more oomph than most ICE cars its size, its price range. And it's cheap to run, and it gets the job done. And other than having to go a long distance in it, it really should be on your short list if you need to get a cheap workhorse kind of car. And that would be my review. Don't underestimate the Bolt. It's it's here to stay. It's popular, and they thought they could cancel it, and apparently they can't. It's coming back, and I have a feeling that they will probably sell more. So thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe, and I will see you on the next episode of Notch EV. Thank you so much. Bolts are notoriously known for being some of the slowest charging EVs you can still buy. And right now, there is going to be a relaunch of the Bolt again. They said they were going to stop making it, but I think they probably realized how popular this car can be for getting people into the EV world. But this car has a max charge rate, DC peak speed of 55 kilowatts, which is going to be extremely painful if you needed to drive over your 247 miles of range that you're getting with this car. If you were doing that a lot, you would want to definitely think of looking into a different car. You could get into a used Model 3 pretty cheap, and then instead of a 50 kilowatt peak DC charging, you could be at a 250, which means you're going to be able to just be on your way so much quicker. So for them, that's not important. They have to fast charge essentially once per year on like one road trip that they might do, but they are doing a lot of mileage in the vicinity of home. And at first, when they told me they were going to get a Bolt, I was thinking, oh, maybe that'll be okay. But it really proved to be a strong car for that use case. And so I think that that's worth knowing. A lot of people should know that, because the fear of having one of these and the fear of the mileage cap, well, the mileage is actually pretty high, the range, but the fear of the supercharging, DC fast charging speed really isn't a big deal if you are not a big long distance driver. And I think, for the most part, people are so concerned about range, and they often overestimate how far they drive, but they're putting multiple hours on this car every day and not needing the fast charge, getting home and charging overnight. That leads me to the point of charging speed, the fear of having to wait at chargers versus the fact that they don't ever have to go to a gas station. Because when they used to drive a Subaru Impreza, I believe, they would have to go to the gas station multiple times per week to do the kind of driving they were doing. And that adds up. That adds up to a lot of time. And all that time now is given back to them because they could charge overnight. If you add up all that time, it doesn't even compare to the amount of time that they spend at a DC fast charger once a year. And so sort of the fear of worrying about wasting all your time at a charger on a road trip, well, you have to consider how much time you're saving throughout the whole year. And by not having to drive 5 minutes out of the way to the gas station, 5 minutes, 2 minutes to pump the gas, 5 minutes to get back on course to wherever you were, you're gaining tons of time, and you're also saving a lot of money. They saved, I think they cut their budget in half when it comes to fueling cost by switching to a Bolt. Not to mention, they've had essentially zero maintenance issues. So it's a really good choice, and I think it's a really good choice for a lot of people. And for the type of driving I do, this wouldn't be a good choice for me, because I'm not really a daily driver, being that I'm in New York City. I actually do long trips often and not a lot of short trips. So make sure you understand your use case. And this car can be a really, like, I called it a workhorse because it's kind of chill, it's kind of simple, it gets the job done. It doesn't have a lot of frills.